So here I am again with some more match recommendation videos for you. The last time I did one of these videos, we did two death matches from Japan. It was Takeda versus Kodaku, which I thoroughly recommend watching, and the other classic from last year, the Yunkasai and El Desperado. So today I thought, we would talk about another two matches that I would definitely recommend for you guys to also go watch, but two matches from the UK here where I live. So the first match coming is a Big Effing Joe versus Shlak, which was at Rise England on the 6th of November 2021, and it was the first round of Game of Death 2. So this match was actually recently had a watch along, and a big shout out to the guys from the Untitled Wrestling podcast who did a fantastic watch along recently, and I will leave you a link in the description for that video too, and definitely go give those guys a good shout. So yep, this was a match that I suppose a lot of people would definitely be looking forward to. I mean, it's one of the UK's finest deathmatch wrestlers in Big Effing Joe, who is currently on a tear right now. I think he's just been back to XPW again in America, taking on one of the premier deathmatch wrestlers in the world and from America in Shlak. And if you've never seen Shlak before, my God, the size of this guy just looks. He has got the look for deathmatch wrestling. You wouldn't want to run into this guy in a dark alleyway. That's for sure, eh? It's a small venue, so it is for Leeds, eh? And there's definitely no barriers, so it makes it very interesting if you're going down there to watch it live. So in this match, they had some interesting weapons in it. So the panes of glass. They had a light tube ladder there that looked pretty sick, obviously, and they had chairs and obviously thumbtacks as well. And Joe obviously likes to bring out the coat hangers. That's the one he likes to use, eh? So definitely some interesting spots there. Like Joe, a lot of torturous spots. That's the thing in deathmatch wrestling. You get a lot of torturous spots, eh? There were some interesting spots with, they even used a shopping cart at some point in this match, eh? But if I had to be honest, there was one spot in this match that I think a lot of people will not forget, and I think maybe a lesson learned for Rise England. The panes of glass. Now they have two panes of glass in this match, and then was there another mini one? Well, anyway, there was a spot where Joe he's in the blind in the middle of the ring, and Shlak puts one of the panes of glass on top of him, and proceeds. And I've seen this spot happen before. It's a great little spot where Shlak will take a chair, hit the glass, and the glass obviously smashes all over his opponent. However, it didn't smash this time. Actually, it didn't smash at all. I think he 3 or 4 hits trying to break this glass, and you can see the sheer glass. It's a very thick pane glass. Cut long story short, this panes of glass just would, and they finally did break it. I think it was Shlak that ended up going through it to break it, but there was a few attempts in there. And as again, I think maybe Rise after that match might have been looking at that panes of glass, going, maybe we should get it from somewhere else. This is very, very tough glass, eh? So, and that's also another thing about British deathmatch wrestling is well known for. A lot of Americans have said this over the years, is that the UK light tubes in death matches are tough, but they've been compared to. If you watch Japanese wrestling, you'll understand that in Japan they don't use gimmick tables. Japanese tables are small, hard, tough, wee buggers to break. And it seems like the UK light tubes and glass is starting to get that sort of reputation now. But overall, in this match, Big Effing Joe, he went over. He went obviously on to the next round. But as I say, I would go watch this match, not just for Big Effing Joe, but again, if you've never seen someone like Shlak before, who does stuff like he'll start eating light tube glass. The man's tattooed all over. He's a big guy. I think he's been to prison. I think he's been in prison. This guy. You can tell when you just look at him. And I mean, Shlak is definitely he's got the passion for deathmatch wrestling. And I remember hearing a quote from him once. I think Nick Gage was talking about him and saying he's one of the people that if there's no blood in a wrestling match, it's not a wrestling match. That's not my opinion. That's Shlak's opinion, but I suppose a deathmatch wrestler, that's a fair opinion. But yeah, as I said, I would go watch this match. It's a fun. It's not a really long match. It's not a short match, that's for sure. But it's a very good match to watch. And as I said, I would go watch this. I mean, you can get the full match on YouTube. which I'll leave that link as well from Rise. But I would also recommend going to watch the watch along with the Untitled Wrestling podcast guys. Very good guys, great little comments as well. I like that they do a lot of watch alongs for Deathmatch Wrestling. And when it was watching this watch along for this match, that we got a recommendation for the second match we're going to talk about today. So the second match is also Big Effing Joe again, who's, as I said, one of the premier deathmatch wrestlers in the UK. So the second match I would definitely recommend today, and it was also recommended from the guys from Untitled Wrestling Podcast, is Big Effing Joe versus Clint Margerra for the TNT Extreme Division title on the 14th of January this year, 2023, at TNT's event, the Merseyside Massacre, which is an event I tried to get to. I might not have had a job at the time. But look, this happened down in Liverpool, and again, I said it was also recommended from the guys from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast, and I actually haven't seen this match before, so I managed to get around to it's on Demand Progress. You go to Demand Progress, you can watch it. You could subscribe to them, and you can watch this match there, so you can. So I went and watched it, and it's been one of those matches I've been meaning to get around to watch, and it was finally the guys from Untitled that sort of got me to finally get my finger out and watch it. And yeah, like a brilliant match, another brilliant match from two of the UK's finest deathmatch wrestlers. And it's one of the things that the thing about Effing Joe is he's brilliant in the ring, but he's fantastic with the crowd. He loves to interact with the crowd. He just loves to flip them off, shout at them. He's got an interesting charisma about him when he's in the deathmatch ring. And with this match, it was definitely had some obviously big spots in it, but it was, I'm not going to say a slow build, but it was, again, what I love about some deathmatch wrestling is when they do actually wrestle, which is very nice to see. It's not just always violence, but this was like a slow, steady build of torturing, I would say. Some of the barbed wire they were using to cut on the foreheads and on the hands spots as well. There were some interesting torture spots in this. One of the spots I definitely remember from the match is Big Effing Joe putting Clint Margerra in a sharpshooter, or is it a Boston Crab? No, it's not a Boston Crab. Well, we'll just say sharpshooter for now. I know there's another name for that one. Four-leaf clover. That's it. It's a four-leaf clover, isn't it? Anyway, he does a sharpshooter to Clint Margerra while Clint Margerra is in a barbed wire. He's stuck on top of a barbed wire board, which looks torturous enough as it is. And then Big Evan Joe right in front of him, asking for a light tube and hitting Clint over the head while in a sharpshooter on a barbed wire board and getting a shot to the head is creative and torturous at the same time. So it was, but I enjoyed that spot, so I did quite a lot. But overall, as I said, the crowd was split between these two. So you got two of the best British deathmatch guys. The crowd was split right down the middle. I mean, it's a win-win. It doesn't matter who wins this match. It's a win-win for deathmatch fans in the UK to see these two again go at it. The finish as well to this match was, always a bit brutal and cringe with the barbed wire. So on the outside there was a triangle wooden frame with lots and lots of barbed wire entangled. Joe gets that into the ring and puts it in the corner, and you're thinking, God, what's going to happen here? So after a bit of a battle and some reversals, I think Clint puts a light tube bundle over Joe's head, puts him into the Death Valley driver, and puts it right through into this barbed wire. And God, there's so much barbed wire. It was like really entangled in it. It looked horrible to take. And then watching Clint trying to actually pin, you can hear Joe still swearing out loud, and you can see Clint even trying to pin him was just a bit tough with the amount of barbed wire. Seriously, go check the finish out. It's quite gruesome. But both guys did really well. And it says Clint managed to get the pin, and he retained his TNT Extreme Division title, so he did. And as I said, it's another great match to go watch. It's another, again, not like a short match, but not a long match. And I think these types of matches at this certain time are quite good for. Obviously, you don't want to go too long in a death match because it's a death match. But also, it's I think it's a good timing for, again, casual fans or fans getting into deathmatch wrestling. You don't want to have short matches, long matches. They're nicely timed. I'm trying to say they're nicely timed matches for you to watch. To the point where it's not too long but not too short, and they always maintain your interest in watching the matches. So as I said, great storytelling as well from both these. You could tell Clint and Joe have previous history. I think they used to be a tag team. I think they used to be a tag team. But yeah, two of the UK's finest, and it, surely these two are just going to become bigger and bigger names. I would definitely like to see sort of. I would love to see Clint maybe in GC. Obviously, he was at GCW in Liverpool. I don't know how many times shows he's done in America, but I'd love to see him go over and do more in America. But obviously, that's dependent, obviously, on other things probably. But both these guys killed it. Both these guys absolutely killed it. And I said, Big F and Joe's been in both of these two matches, and he is definitely. He could very well be the top name in British deathmatch wrestling right now, because he's getting booked a lot over in America. He's getting very popular in America. I would love to see him go to Japan. I'd love to see him at Freedom. I would love to see F and Joe or Clint go and take on like a Yunkasai, Takeda. So that would be. I would definitely tune in and watch that match. But anyways, I'm rambling on now. That's today's two recommendations. Sorry, video matches for deathmatch today, and I'm sure I'll come back. So again, in the comment section, if you've got any suggestions for me to review a match or recommend a match or go watch a match, death matches from the UK, Europe, Mexico, America, Japan. If you want me to watch any independent stuff, I know I'm going to be going to watch Warrior Wrestling when it gets put up, because I'm not going to reveal the result, but I've seen that Vikingo and Gringo Loco apparently had a really good luchador match at Warrior, so I definitely want to go and watch that. And we've definitely got a couple more Vikingo matches coming up. They just announced Vikingo versus Commando for Ring of Honor, so I would definitely have to look more at Ring of Honor. I am a Ring of Honor fan, so I'll have to look more at that and probably review more on those matches too, because they got some interesting matches coming up. They got Claudio and Eddie Kingston as well. But anyway, I'm rambling on too much. So as I said, these are the two matches I would recommend for you to go out your way to watch. As I said, it's Big F and Joe versus Shlak from Rise, and Big F and Joe versus Clint Margerra at TNT. So thank you again for listening. I hope you enjoy. I hope you go check out those matches. Leave me some nice comments if you want to as well. Any suggestions for me is always appreciated. But I hope you guys have a smashing day today, and I will see you again for the next video.